By the time Daniel Harper pulled into the grocery store parking lot, his 5-year-old daughter had fallen asleep in the back seat with a half-eaten granola bar still clutched in her tiny hand. He sat there for a moment, staring through the rain-streaked windshield, feeling the familiar weight of exhaustion settle into his bones. Being a single father hadn't been part of the plan. 3 years earlier, he'd buried his wife after a sudden illness and learned that grief didn't pause for school lunches, bedtime stories, or utility bills. Life simply kept moving, demanding things from people who had nothing left to give. Daniel had learned to give anyway. He worked as an administrative assistant at a nonprofit rehabilitation center in Chicago, helping coordinate services for people living with disabilities. It wasn't glamorous work, and the paycheck barely stretched far enough, but it mattered. And lately, there had been another reason he didn't mind showing up every morning. His boss, Olivia Bennett. Olivia was 38, brilliant, fiercely organized, and used a wheelchair after a spinal cord injury she'd sustained in college. She intimidated almost everyone. Board members straightened their ties before entering meetings with her. Contractors arrived overly prepared. Even seasoned employees stumbled through presentations under her sharp, observant gaze. Daniel had been no different, until he'd noticed the quieter things. The way Olivia remembered every employee's children's names, how she personally called patients who'd been denied services elsewhere, how she'd stay late, writing grant applications to ensure families received equipment insurance, refused to cover. She never asked for praise. Most people only saw the wheelchair. Daniel saw the woman. That Tuesday evening, after finally getting Emma settled at home with cartoons and macaroni and cheese, his phone buzzed. It was a text from his younger sister, Kate. "So, how's work? Still crushing on your terrifying boss?" Daniel laughed despite himself. His thumbs moved before his brain caught up. "You joke, but she's honestly incredible. Smartest person I've ever met. And she's stunning. The way she lights up when she talks about helping people, I don't know. She deserves someone who sees how amazing she is." He hit send, then froze. The color drained from his face. He hadn't sent it to Kate. He'd sent it to Olivia. "No," he whispered. Emma looked up from the couch. "Daddy?" Daniel stared at his screen in horror. No. 3 dots appeared, then disappeared, then reappeared. Finally, a message arrived. "Thank you for the compliment, Daniel. For future reference, your sister is probably a safer audience." Daniel considered moving to another state. Instead, he typed, "I am so sorry. I meant to send that to my sister. I'm incredibly embarrassed. Please know I respect you professionally, and I completely understand if you'd like me to pretend I never existed." Several minutes passed. Then, "Tomorrow at 8 a.m. staff meeting. Please don't resign before then." Daniel groaned and buried his face in a pillow. The next morning, he walked into work expecting awkwardness thick enough to suffocate. Instead, Olivia handed him a folder. "Conference room B," she said. He blinked. "That's it?" She raised an eyebrow. "What exactly were you expecting?" "I don't know." "Termination? Witness protection?" For a second, her professional mask slipped. She smiled. It transformed her entire face. "Relax, Daniel." Over the following weeks, something shifted. The accidental text became less of a humiliation and more of an unspoken understanding. They talked. Really talked. During lunch breaks, after meetings, while organizing community fundraisers. Daniel learned Olivia had spent years navigating people's assumptions. Some treated her like an inspiration simply for existing. Others assumed disability had somehow erased her femininity, her independence, her capacity for love. Dating had become exhausting. "People either pity me," she admitted one evening while reviewing budget reports, "or they're determined to prove what wonderful human beings they are for finding me attractive." Daniel looked up. "I just think you're Olivia." She studied him for a long moment. That's surprisingly rare. Meanwhile, Olivia got to know Daniel beyond his role at work. She saw the crayon drawings tucked inside his planner, the photos of Emma's missing front teeth, the quiet panic in his eyes whenever unexpected expenses arose. "You look tired," she observed one morning. Daniel smiled weakly. "Emma had a nightmare." "Did you?" He hesitated. "Sometimes I still expect my wife to walk through the door." Olivia's expression softened. "Grief doesn't follow schedules." "No," Daniel agreed quietly. It doesn't. Months passed. Then came the center's biggest annual fundraiser. Everything depended on it. Donors, programs, families waiting for services. The night of the gala, disaster struck. The keynote speaker canceled. The audiovisual system malfunctioned. A major donor threatened to withdraw support. Staff scrambled in panic. Olivia remained calm, until Daniel noticed her hands trembling. "You okay?" he asked. She inhaled slowly. "My chair battery indicator is malfunctioning." His stomach dropped. "If it dies, I won't be able to get onto the stage." The woman who never asked anyone for help stared at the floor. "I can fix donor crises," she murmured. "I can negotiate million-dollar contracts. But sometimes I still hate needing assistance for basic things." Daniel crouched beside her wheelchair. "Hey," she looked at him. "You've spent years helping people reclaim dignity," he said softly. "Let someone help you for 5 minutes." Her eyes glistened. The maintenance team found a solution. The event continued. When Olivia eventually rolled onto the stage, the ballroom erupted into applause. She looked out at hundreds of attendees, then set aside her prepared speech. "People often ask what resilience looks like," she began. "They expect extraordinary stories, dramatic victories." Her gaze drifted toward Daniel near the back of the room. "But resilience is usually quieter than that. It's single parents showing up for their children despite heartbreak. It's caregivers sacrificing sleep without complaint. It's co-workers who offer help without making you feel helpless. It's ordinary people choosing kindness when nobody requires them to." The room fell silent. "Humanity isn't measured by independence," Olivia continued. "It's measured by how we care for one another." Daniel blinked rapidly. Across the ballroom, Emma waved enthusiastically from Kate's lap. "Daddy!" Laughter rippled through the audience. Olivia smiled. "And apparently," she added, "humanity also involves forgiving. Employees who accidentally text their bosses embarrassing compliments." The room exploded with laughter. Daniel covered his face. After the gala ended, they stepped outside into the cool Chicago night. "You planned that," Daniel accused. Olivia looked innocent. "I have no idea what you're talking about." He laughed, then grew serious. "You were amazing tonight. So were you." A comfortable silence settled between them. Finally, Olivia spoke. "Emma asked earlier whether I like dinosaurs." Daniel frowned. "What?" "Apparently, it's an important compatibility question." He couldn't help smiling. "And?" "I informed her that triceratops are vastly underrated." Daniel chuckled. "That's the correct answer." Olivia looked down at her hands. "Daniel." "Yeah? I've spent a long time assuming certain parts of life weren't meant for me." He waited. "Not because of the wheelchair," she clarified. "Because disappointment becomes easier to manage when you stop hoping." Daniel's voice was gentle. "You don't have to do that anymore." She met his eyes. For once, neither looked away. 6 months later, Daniel stood in his kitchen helping Emma decorate cookies while Olivia supervised from the table. "Too much frosting," Olivia warned. Emma gasped dramatically. "There is no such thing." Daniel laughed. The house felt different these days. Lighter. Not because grief had disappeared. It hadn't. Love didn't erase loss. It simply made room beside it. Emma climbed into Olivia's lap.